Hello everyone. I hope you're all doing good. Stranger Things, it is one of the best shows out there. The writing, the performances, the visuals, they're all spot on when it comes to this show. Sure, there have been a couple of ups and downs, but for the most part, the show has maintained a consistent run throughout its 4 seasons. I thought of putting out a ranking for the 4 seasons of Stranger Things that have been released so far. There will be spoilers ahead for those who have not seen Stranger Things at all, or those who have not caught up with season 4. So, with that said, let me get into the ranking. So, in fourth place is going to be season 2. After the success that was season 1, I was really excited to see what they do with season 2, and they succeeded for the most part. I really liked the character development they gave for Steve. He became one of my favorite characters in season 2, and I really liked the friendship he had with Dustin. Steve and Dustin are two of my favorite characters from Stranger Things, and it was all built up in season 2. Season 2 also developed a wonderful relationship between Hopper and Eleven, and it also introduced the characters of Max and Billy. I really liked the increased focus on Will this season. Noah Schnapp gave a really strong performance, especially in the last few episodes. This was a Will bias focused season, and I really liked that. Seeing as it built on his trauma, his experiences in the Upside Down in season 1, and I really liked the increased action set pieces that they had this season. However, the reason this season is in last place is because, for the most part, there isn't a lot happening this season. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of events take place, but they all take place like after more than half the season is over. Eleven spends the majority of the season away from the code group, and she only returns to the group in the last episode. Then there's the whole episode about Kali and the other kids, which is generally considered to be one of the worst episodes of Stranger Things, if not the worst. And I agree with it. I did not find that episode interesting at all, and it was more of a side quest from the main storyline, which I did not appreciate. Next up is going to be season 3. Now, this season improved a lot when it came to the story. The central conflict of the mind flare infecting Billy and using him as a puppet felt extremely like an invasion of the body snatchers type of story, and it was really creepy and really well done. The characters got a lot more development than they did in season 2. I really liked the dynamic that Steve, Dustin, and Robin shared. Robin was one of my favorite additions this season. I really liked their storyline. Although I have to say, I'm not a big fan of Erica. She is extremely annoying. I also liked the new friendship that developed between Max and Eleven, and the fact that Eleven stuck with the code group this time around brought around a lot of great fun moments in this season that were missing in the previous season. However, I do feel they did Will a disservice this season, as he spends basically the entire season struggling to hold the code group together and doesn't get to do anything significant. Also, I was not really a big fan of Hopper's storyline this season. The whole Russia plotline felt like it dragged a lot, and the humor was extremely hit and miss for me this season. I felt they infused a lot of humor into the season, which took away from the mystery element that Stranger Things is always good with. However, I have to say, to the season's credit, the Billy plotline was really good. I loved the redemption they gave to Billy's character at the end. In fact, the entire last episode is one of my favorite episodes of Stranger Things. The Battle of Starcourt Mall is a great action sequence. Next up in second place is season 4. Now, this season improved on a lot of shortcomings of seasons 2 and 3. It brought back the horror aspect that season 1 did so well. I would say it was even more terrifying than season 1. They had a great villain in Vecna, and I loved how the first half of the season was built up in exploring who the villain is, who is Vecna, where did he come from, and then you have that brilliant twist in episode 7 that ties together the past and the present. I loved what they did with Max this season. Sadie Sink gave a great performance, and episode 4 is one of the best episodes of the show yet. I also liked the addition of Eddie Munson and what they did with his character. Also liked how they separated 11 from the group this season, but they gave us a clear reason of why they were doing that, and it also played into the story. And I liked how they split up the group in such a way that each of them had a different storyline, a different thing to do, but it all factored into the plot. But I have a couple of problems there which I will come to later. I would also like to say that they did a great job with the visuals this season. They were absolutely mind blowing, especially the visuals for the Upside Down. The show has a huge budget, and this season proves that they're actually doing justice to the budget. The main problems I had with this season is that all of the storylines did not feel like they came together. The whole Mike, Will, and Jonathan storyline, they did not interest me as much as the other storylines did. And once again, they did not give Mike and Will anything to do this season. And even Jonathan seems like an afterthought now. This also adds to the Russian storyline. While it was fun to see Hopper in the prison and trying to escape, and Joyce and Murray coming to rescue him, it felt like it was disconnected from the main Vecna storyline that was going on in the season. So, if only these two storylines had been a little more tighter and factored more into the plot, this would have been the best season of Stranger Things. But obviously, in first place is season 1. The season which started it all remains the best. You had the whole storyline where Will Byers goes missing and his friends and his mother and his brother all looking for him. And all of the storylines that were going on felt that they had a part to play in the main plot. You had the kids looking for Will on their own. You had Joyce and Hopper looking for clues that could lead to Will. You had Jonathan helping out Nancy with her monster problem, which eventually tied into the whole Will storyline. All of the storylines felt natural, they felt interesting. 11 meeting up with the kids was fun, and I really liked the dynamic that Eleven and Mike had this season. Mike does feel like a main character this season, and I hate how they put him off as a side character in the following seasons because he really is the main character here. Also, credit where credit is due. The performances by the entire cast is really really good this season, especially the core group of kids. I would like to single out Millie Bobby Brown and Finn Wolfhard because even as kids they gave great performances here. This season had a lot of terrifying scenes. The dread, the terror, you don't know what's going on, and that is extremely creepy. And the season built on that, the mystery, the thriller aspects. And I feel that has always been the strength of Stranger Things. The ability of the show to pull you in with the mystery is what makes Stranger Things great. A couple of the following seasons lack that aspect, and season 1 does it perfectly. All in all, this is a perfect season, and I hope season 5 brings this series to a satisfying close. Okay, so that's where I'll end the video. Do tell me your thoughts on Stranger Things as a whole, and do tell me what other videos you might like to see. Also, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos like these.